Okay, so I am trimming a cup and making a handle for it. So this is a cup that I threw a couple of days ago and slowly got to leather hard. The clay is just past being sticky anywhere with dry hands. It's not sticky anywhere, it's just past that. Work dries from top down typically, so usually the part that you're going to be most concerned with is the bottom getting dry enough. And it's perfect for trimming. So some of my students, beginning students, their pots aren't level, so you may want to center the pot, secure it, trim this level, and then flip it over, center it, and then trim the foot. Otherwise, you're going to trim something that's off like this, and it's going to be very difficult to get a nice foot on it. So that's just a suggestion. Okay, so I'm going to center based on the area that I'm going to be trimming away, but I don't use this top edge because it may have been destroyed from the wire that I used to free the pot from the bat. All right, and I'll use very tall lugs of clay to secure it. And the reason why I want the pieces of clay to come up quite high on the side is that it'll make the pot more secure. You're less likely to topple while I'm trimming. Work on opposing sides so that the clay is less likely to, the pot's less likely to shift over to one side. All right, and then I check to make sure that it hasn't gotten thrown off. And it has. So let's see if we can move this over a little bit. Okay, it's good. So I will, I have always been in the habit of getting the outside trimmed, getting it how I want it before I trim the inside, this area. And so with trimming, you're getting rid of excess weight, I should say, and you're also refining the shape of the pot. The floor thickness is about 3/8 of an inch thick, so I probably can't go trim any deeper than half of that without going right through. And I'll use a broader surface to get rid of any little ridges, trim marks that might have been left behind by using the smaller tool. I like to start with a smaller tool though, because I can trim a narrower ribbon of clay away at a time. So it means I have to put less pressure on the pot. So that's less stress on the pot. So the wall doesn't get distorted or collapse on me. Okay. And I'm going to use a little bit of wire just to soften the foot, and then that creates slip, and I can just rub my fingers on the surface just to refine it, make it nice. Alright, let's see, and just putting a straight edge across the top. It doesn't have to be a ruler, but just a straight edge, and I see I have enough glaze clearance there, and that's what you want to make sure of. So with this pot, the only part of it that's going to touch the furniture is that foot ring. Okay, the rest of it will be glazed. You can see the profile is a little bit more dramatic down here. All right, so now with handles. There are a number of ways of making handles. Some potters prefer to make a fresh handle and attach it immediately to the pot. Some like to make the handle let stiffen to leather hard state. Cut the ends of the handle so that it fits properly to the side of the pot. Score and slip it. So let's see. I'll show you how to pull the handle. Get some water. You need some fresh wet clay. And I'm going to create a slight taper here. Hold on to it with this hand. And I'm going to wet the clay, just the exposed part, and wet this hand. And then I'm going to start stroking it. Some say it's like you're milking a cow. And also I'm moving the clay from side to side. And the shape of the opening here, it's round. Later I can flatten the handle so it's more like a tongue by doing this. So the shape that you make this opening is going to affect how the shape of the cross section of this handle. Okay, so right now I'm just trying to get a taper. So I'm working a little bit more on the bottom. Okay, and then if I want a long handle, I'm going to start higher up. So now I'll work on getting it flat. So I'm just working on this side and then turning it, working on that side. So see how it's skinny this way, wider that way? All right, so some potters will make their handle and they'll bend it around to shape it like this, and they'll let it get to leather hard. You want to make sure that there's enough space to accommodate the number of fingers you want to go in this, go through this loop. Realize that your clay is going to shrink around 12 to 15%, so you want to make sure that there's a little bit extra space. All right. If you don't want to let the handle stiffen before you attach it, then this is what you can do. Okay, so I'm going to cut this handle. I'm cutting it at a bevel, an angle like this, and I'm also going to be cutting a curve. So what you have is, you can see that it's at a bevel, but also the cut has been at a curve this way. And that's going to fit onto the side of the pot better. And keep clean hands. One disadvantage of attaching this freshly pulled handle to the side of this is that the water content is different between the two, and so during the drying there's going to be a different amount of shrinking that's happening, and it can cause the handle to crack or to completely pop off. You don't have to deal with that with the handle that you shape, get to leather hard, and then you attach it to the pot. The advantage to attaching a fresh handle right away, is that you can modify it, change it so that it is better integrated to the form of the pot. Oh, let's see. Decide where I want the handle. I'm going to take advantage of this curve that's in the form. So it allows me to get my fingers closer into the pot without burning my knuckles on the hot cup, that has coffee in it. Alright, so I've scored the two areas where the handle is going to attach, and hoping the handle is long enough, and then I score this wide part. It's going to attach some water or slip. Okay, so I'm attaching this way, so that bevel cut is allowing the handle to attach at an angle this way. So you get this nice, beautiful swoop up of the handle before it comes down. And I'm smoothing out this underside so that it's better integrated. Some potters like to do some more pulls while the pot is attached, while the handle is attached. It's up to you. And cutting off the excess. Make sure the handle is straight. And there's slip that's been created from the pulling. So a lot of times the potters won't bother to score and slip this bottom part that I've just attached. Okay, and this cup's not that big, so I think just a one finger handle is enough. Alright. And I don't like this little bump in here, so I could wait till it's leather hard to cut that away. And actually it's the best time when the clay's not so gooey, but for demonstration purposes I'll just take care of that now. So you can see, so I'm just using a felling knife and just shaving some of that clay away. And I'll use a little bit of water just to smooth it out. I try to touch the handle as little as possible when it's wet like this, because the clay is so soft and you'll ruin the freshness of the gesture in the handle. Alright, so that is the handle for the cup. Okay, now there's a little corner in there. If you don't like that, I'd say just cover the entire piece up with plastic for say overnight. Come back and the handle will be stiff, and you can score and slip a skinny coil of clay in there and get it well integrated to fill that gap. It's really up to you. Last thing is, do not pick up your pots by the handle until after they've been glaze fired, because they're still fragile.